Hey guys, it is us again, and today we want to tell about different parts of an experiment.
Once you have your research completed, you can form your hypothesis, which is a prediction of what you believe will occur. It is often seen as an if-then statement and is very specific.
For example, if I miss 4 LCE classes, then I will fail. Or if my GPA is lower than 3.0, then I will not be able to do an exchange.
When all of the boring stuff is settled, you can proceed to the experiment. Unfortunately, for our experiment, we had to sacrifice some gummy bears. Let's get ready. So what do we need? We need to have gummy bears and 3 beakers. We need 1 for control group, 1 for regular water, and 1 for salt water. We have 3 gummy bears. 1 we're going to place in regular water, another one in salt water.
And the third one, we're going to eat it ourselves. No, just kidding. The third one is a control which we didn't touch, and love it to compare to the others.
As you can see, the control beaker doesn't have any water in it. The regular one has tap water inside. And all we need to do is to add salt into the salt water beaker.
How much salt?
A lot.
Okay, so let's pour some salt in.
So now we're gonna stir the salt in order to dissolve it in water. We have hypothesized that if we put gummy bears in different types of water, it will change the size.
So now I'm going to put the red one in the salt water, the green one in the regular water, and the orange one in the control.
And next we're gonna wait 24 hours to see what happens. So let's check out what happened to our gummy bears.
Yep.
So the control one got a bit harder, but it still has the same size. And then if we look at the salt water one, it kind of changed the color and became more white. Interesting.
Okay, and then we have the one in the regular water. Ooh, take a look. Looks like the color faded and it got bigger. I think we need a spoon.
Yeah, let's try to get it out. Wow. This gummy bear definitely got much bigger than the rest of them.
So now that we've had some fun with gummy bears, let's talk about what made this a valid experiment. Most experiments collect 2 types of data, qualitative and quantitative.
Qualitative data relies on descriptions. In our case, it was gummy bears, soft, squishy, yellow, red, dry, or swollen. Quantitative data relies on numbers. For example, gummy bears are 1 centimeter tall and weigh 2.3 grams. Once you know what types of data you're going to collect, you can define the variables in your experiment.
Variables are factors that can be observed and may be changed in an experiment, such as type of water, color of gummy bears, or time. Overall, there are 2 types of variables, independent and dependent.
The independent variable is the thing you change to see how it affects your dependent variable, which is the thing you measure. So in the gummy bear example, the change in the experiment, the independent variable, is the type of water that the gummy bears are being placed in, and the dependent variable is the size of the gummy bear.
A valid experiment will also have both an experimental group and a control group. The experimental group is the group on which you actually perform an experiment, and a control group is a group that does not experience any changes and can be used to compare with the experimental group.
In the gummy bear experiment, the bears, which were placed in water, are the experimental group, and the dry gummy bears are the control group, because that's how gummy bears normally are.
So to summarize, an experiment should have an experimental group and a control group.
You should also have an independent variable and a dependent variable.
And finally, the data that is measured and collected can be qualitative, quantitative, or both.
That's all for today. See you next time. Bye!